Let's now bring in former White House senior advisor Stephen Miller. Stephen, you were there in the White House when the press, everybody was salivating over the 25th Amendment. What are your thoughts on that now?
Well, of course, President Trump is the sharpest person to occupy the Oval Office in our lifetimes, and I can say that from intimate experience working in the West Wing every single day of the presidency. But let's talk about what happened today and how stunning this is. The Department of Justice effectively said that Joe Biden is less mentally fit and capable than the average inmate in San Quentin. That you could go to any federal prison in the country, pick any random inmate, drug dealer, murderer, anybody there, and they would be more mentally capable than the President of the United States of America. It is a very low bar to be ruled mentally fit for trial. That very low bar, the most retirees in most retirement communities all across the country could meet, the President of the United States does not meet. When they talk about diminished faculties, those are phrases you hear in a hospice care setting when they're explaining to the children of the patient why grandpa is biting the care workers. That's how bad this is, Jesse. That's the President of the United States. And he certainly, as Mark said, did not allay any concerns when he thinks the President of Egypt is the President of Mexico. He went on TV live tonight and talked about opening up humanitarian gateways from Mexico to the Gaza Strip. Do you know how demented and deranged that sounds? A man shouted angrily at reporters, accosted them, screamed at them, and then he said, oh, let's talk about the president of Mexico, El Sisi, and our plan for Gaza relief. This is a PR catastrophe for the White House, but it is a national security catastrophe, Jesse, for the United States of America.
You're right. And then afterwards, when he was speaking to Democrats this afternoon after this thing dropped, he said, I was elected to be the president for red states and green states. I hadn't heard that one before. Yes. I think it's red states
Dr. Seuss line.
And blue states. But go back to the picture that we're going to show now. Look at the garage. This is the President of the United States garage, Stephen Miller. This is where he was keeping information about U.S. weapons capabilities, foreign intelligence, military secrets. There it is, next to a lamp with duct tape wrapped around it and a shoebox. The FBI said that box was so dilapidated and crumbled that they couldn't even pick it up. They had to take the classified documents and put it in another box. Now, this is a garage that Hunter's in and out of with Jackie Bao, who's tied to Chinese intelligence. This is where the garage doors open. They're going on a joyride in the Corvette. Now, you take this and look at Donald Trump, where his documents were. They were locked up in a secure facility. Boxes had tops on them, guarded by Secret Service, on an estate on an island. Now, the media went crazy when those images came out. How can you continue to go forward with this document prosecution on the Trump side after what we've witnessed here with this off-ramp that the special counsel has given Joe Biden, who had a garage that looked like my great-grandfather's after a rummage sale?
Well, yes, let's be very clear that the Department of Justice, the report they wrote, was an attempt to get Joe Biden completely scot-free off of the documents case while they are persecuting Donald Trump. Those pictures you showed are the least secure handling and storing of classified information I've ever seen in my life. Donald Trump stored the records based on consultation with the Department of Justice and the National Archives. Records that he, as president, has the absolute right to maintain, to control, to declassify. That is an unmitigated right of the President of the United States. Joe Biden had no such right. Joe Biden was vice president, not president. He was senator, not president, when he stole these records, when he purloined these records. And yet he is not being prosecuted. And we know why he's not being prosecuted. Because the system is rigged, Jesse. It's rigged in the same way that Black Lives Matter can torch buildings and kill people and ruin lives, but pro-life protesters, they get thrown in the slammer. It's rigged because if you are on the right team, if you're on the Democrat team, you can commit any crime and you will be shielded. And if you're on the wrong team, you're the Republican team, and certainly for Donald Trump, no matter how innocent you are, you will be railroaded. Joe Biden belongs in prison. He willfully retained and disclosed classified information, and he has absolutely no right to retain those records because he was not the president of the United States.
Well, and he's lying right to the American people about disclosing classified information. The report says he shared classified information with his ghostwriter for the book. And then when he was asked about it, he said it wasn't true and told some crazy story about Afghanistan. And now, knowing this whole time, he's been sitting on this dusty, disheveled box of classified documents in his garage and all over Chinatown and Penn Biden Center. He was green-lighting his Justice Department to go raid Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Think about how diabolical that is.
Well, because we don't live in a free country anymore. We don't live in a democracy anymore. We live in a country where there's a ruling party, a ruling regime, ruling power centers, and they decide who goes to jail and who is innocent. Look, Hunter Biden had unfettered access to these documents in this area. A drug addict had unfettered access. This is the same time as the Biden family is making millions and millions of dollars in shady foreign dealings. How easy would it have been for any number of foreign governments to obtain access to this garage? How often was the garage open? How often were these facilities unsecured? This is a complete and total violation of our nation's most essential secrets. But at the end of the day, this is the same government that has a wide open border and traffics in children, is the same government that censors our speech illegally. It's the same government that allows people to vote without any verification, and it's the same government trying to throw Donald Trump in jail because he's the leader of the opposition party. They don't care about the rules. They care about power, Jesse.
Yeah, you got a wide open garage and border. It looks like a mess on both fronts. Stephen, thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.